that you have various technologies at the ARTC, the technology center that you've started. What do you specialize in, and what are the key things that you would be utilizing in your work?
Okay, let me see what I can do with that one. Great question. So I've always struggled with the idea of specializing in things. And yes, it's important to have some specialty areas, but to me, it's more of the approach that's my specialty as opposed to a particular condition. Because again, remember, like I inferred, a condition or a diagnosis is just a name given to a set of symptoms, and we tend to follow certain patterns as organisms, but that doesn't mean the cause is the same in all those cases. So my specialty is looking at each individual as an individual and trying to understand what's going on with them, and then devise a healthy, sound, safe approach to dealing with it. And some of that thought process comes from I was trained. My undergraduate work was here in Sarasota at New College, and most people don't realize that it's a very unique learning environment that fosters self-directed learning and basically supports out-of-the-box thinking. And I thrived there because I was kind of predisposed to that. So as far as what technologies I've pulled together at ARTC, there are several that are just amazing. And I'd say that probably to me the most important foundational technology that I'm utilizing there is called EWOT, which stands for Exercise with Oxygen Therapy or Exercise with Oxygen Training. And it's the only technology ever demonstrated to open and reset the microcirculation, the capillaries. Now, there's a ton of science behind it, but very few people know about it and all the benefits it offers. So I've incorporated into virtually all of my programs that I offer. So here's the key to understanding this, is that 99% of the entire cardiovascular system is made up of the microcirculation. We don't hear about the microcirculation. We hear about the heart, about arteries and veins. Well, they make up 1% of the cardiovascular system, and the microcirculation makes up 99% of it. That's where all nutrients and waste products are exchanged between the vascular system and our tissues and cells. And nothing will work without sufficient oxygen. That's how oxygen gets to our tissues and cells. So opening up and resetting the microcirculation is just one of the most fundamental and important things that I could possibly, bring to people. So
okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna expose myself here because you and I have been talking about my knee, for example. Now, I have a damaged knee, and most people would go, okay, just get a knee replacement. But we're taking a different approach. So I just want to put that out there because as a doctor that you are, I want to use that as an example because what you just said is incorporated into your approach. I think it's amazing. Can you share some about that?
Well, yeah. So the bottom line is that anything that you want to heal, you've got to get nutrients to it. And so, of course, we, many of us will, make sure the person's eating right and digesting their food right and all, and that's all crucial. However, the way it gets to the tissues is through the microcirculation. Mm-hmm. And if the microcirculation, I'm not saying that people's microcirculation is shut down. I'm saying it's severely compromised. Mm-hmm. There's a whole process that's been documented. What happens is basically we all know about inflammation. Well, inflammation happens in all kinds of areas of the body, including the microcirculation. And so those tiny, tiny vessels become constricted. So if it's now 1/2 the diameter that it's supposed to be, it's going to restrict the transfer of nutrients into the tissues that it's feeding and picking up the waste product that it should be picking up. So that's why opening up the microcirculation is so important, because we need to get oxygen and other nutrients to the tissues, and we need to get the waste products away from the tissues. So the next technology that goes hand in hand with that is light therapy. And many of us have heard about and seen light therapy over the years. It's been talked about, for decades. However, just in the last 15 years or so, the research has gone berserk. And it was originally based upon the use of lasers. And they thought the laser what was causing the healing process, particularly the low-level lasers. And they are fabulous. However, what they really understood and realize now is that it's not the laser, it's the frequency of the light. It's a frequency device. So there are several different frequencies, obviously. There are many frequencies. And red and near infrared are two of the most healing for lots of different functions. And other frequencies are beneficial for different things. But what the red and near infrared do is it stimulates the production of energy in the mitochondria. It downregulates pain and inflammation receptors on the cell surfaces. It stimulates and enhances circulation. It activates regeneration via a cell matrix protein that's inside the cellular space. It stimulates the release of fat from adipose cells, and it stimulates collagen formation. So all that stuff is now in stone as far as the benefits that it provides. And like anything else, you've got to use the right frequencies for the right duration to provide the right dosage to get those benefits.
Right. So speaking of frequencies, because I know we're going to run out of time and you have so much information. I'm like, oh my God. And I know we don't want to leave the subject of frequencies alone, because you and I have talked about one of the biggest threats that is on us at this time. And we have just a couple of minutes to really address that. Please share your opinion of that.
Okay. So the
biggest threat that's addressing us right now.
I'm sorry?
The biggest threat that is addressing people's health right now.
And we've had some discussions about this, and it's going to sound a little crazy without being able to provide all the details and documentation behind it. But let's just say the biggest threat to our health and the planet right now is loss of our freedom and our rights to control what happens to our bodies. And it goes really deeper. It goes back to a widespread violation of the Nuremberg Code, which states that no one has the right to perform experiments on people without proper informed consent. Well, that's what they're doing. They're performing all kinds of experiments on the population without informed consent, and they're using things that are extremely dangerous, potentially an extinction event. And what I'll say real quick, because I know we're running out of time, is that the two biggest things that are being thrust upon us without proper informed consent that are extremely harmful are excessive man-made electromagnetic frequencies, especially 5G that's being rolled out, and vaccines. And again, I know it's going to sound crazy to people that don't have a background in this and understand it. And literally it would take an hour or longer to kind of give a full rundown. But those are the two biggest things I think that are threatening us right now are electromagnetic frequencies or man-made dirty frequencies, including 5G and vaccines.
Well, Max, do you have some information on your website that may help people to understand not only what you do and what you offer, but this whole question about what we're facing at this time?
I've been very hesitant about putting some of those things up. I do talk about them in my blogs, which is on nutritionninjadoc.com. And the reason is that the level of censorship and attacks that are being levied against those that are speaking out is unprecedented. And that, to me, is the proof that this whole thing that's going on, this whole so-called pandemic, is a complete sham.
So that people can reach you at Facebook at artc.health, and they can reach you at the nutrition ninjadoc.com, correct? And unfortunately, we've run out of time. So I'm so sorry. We definitely have to have you back and have some more conversations. You're a rich source of information.
Great stuff.
Thank you. Thank you all. It's a pleasure being with you.
Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning into our show on societybitesradio.com. Don't worry if you've missed a show. You can find them all on our website at SarasotaHolisticChamberofCommerce.com.